Yeah. And so those are the same material all the way around. What Mike said was, hey, what if we made the outside still slippery so that I could shed a defender, but the inside more sticky, higher coefficient of friction, so that I could hold the ball better. And so it's what's known as a warp knit. It's a combination of polyester, nylon, and polyurethane fibers. Polyurethane is commonly known as spandex. That spandex fiber comes to the top of the inside part, and so it's sticky. It's got a higher coefficient of friction, but it is not like a coated on material. It doesn't launder off. It's not like a stick on like you have with wide receiver gloves. And so we generated these sleeves. Mike's selling them right now. We've got partnerships developed with major companies that I probably can't say on your thing because they're not advertisers.
Wait, Jud, I have to go to my panel on this. Gary, Chuck, like, should this even be legal?
It is.
No, I didn't ask you, Jud. I didn't ask you. These are my people here.
I get to rebut.
If no one objects, then go for it. If there's nothing already in the rule book that says you cannot, then you go for it. Now, if they like that the sort of swimwear that they started to use it and everyone went, you're too good, take it off, then that's different. But
why is that different? It's an
advantage.
It's some kind of exoskin that changes the dynamics of your play, and it's not you. You're not a better athlete for it. So
can I say something?
But it's not resisting.
No, Jud.
You're not resisting. Shush. So
this guy invents something and then thinks he can just take over the conversation.
My wife says I interrupt all the time.
Okay, no, Jud.
The technology, Neil, is open to everybody. This isn't exclusive to one team only. This is being sold over the internet to people who want to use it. So I think the advantage is there for all.
So why don't we just create Glue Man as receivers and send them out there, and if it touches any part of their physical body, it sticks like Velcro.
They used to have that. They used to have that. It was called Stick'em.
Yeah.
And they stopped players from using it because they started slathering it all over everything.
So what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? That's nasty.
It's the nasty rule.
Right. That was the nasty rule.
So Jud, I have to ask.
Jud.
In the development of this material, are you stealing a play from Mother Nature's playbook here? Is it biomimicry, or is this a very clever use of fabric?
Yeah, there's a couple things. So I didn't talk about that. The outside part of the sleeve does use biomimicry. It's a special type of fabric that promotes wicking. So the capillary action that you see in trees, for instance, that pulls moisture away. So it pulls the moisture from my skin, brings it out to the surface where it evaporates and cools me.
Wait, I've never seen capillary action in a tree. You mean we know that that's what trees do?
Yep. The way you could see it would be to take a very small straw and put it in a glass of water, and you would see it rise up the water. So the level inside that straw would be a little bit higher.
So what you say, I just wanted to clarify, when you say we see capillary action, you mean we know that that's what they do by looking inside, not that we just, you
can't go look at a tree.
Right, Joyce Kilmer was not seeing capillary action when the famous poem was composed about trees.
Yep. You can occasionally see it if you cut the tree and the water continues to flow out of it like freshly cut wood.
Okay, so you mean capillary action because trees have to bring water from the ground upward against gravity. So
that makes it slick on the one side and sticky for the receiver side, because receivers often have their hands, the inside of their forearms exposed to receive a ball.
Right, and you would not want that covered with sweat, for instance. Right. It would be slippery. Now, getting back to this rule situation, with Stick'em was ruled out, but wide receivers do have gloves currently allowed, and we submitted this to the NCAA rules guru czar kind of guy, and we got our letter back on official NCAA stuff that said, hey, this is approved for competition. So because it's approved in NCAA, high schools tend to also follow that, but not necessarily in NFL. So we'll approach NFL later, but really our largest market right now is actually delivery, warehouse, and farm wear. Like anybody that needs to carry like boxes or sacks of fertilizer or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So they're not throwing the packages at each other, Jud. And the guys,
you don't want to drop it.
The guys were dropping lots of them, so they're going to get these sleeves.
You don't want to drop the eggs. You don't want to drop the tomatoes.
That's the lower end delivery services.
I have to put a nuance in our vocabulary here, because I think when you use the word sticky to people, they think of something tactilely sticky and glue-like, as opposed to something that's simply rougher and has just simply higher friction. But it's not stuck to the surface in the sense we think of glue or Scotch tape sticking to a surface. Is that distinction fair enough to make here?
That is, it's not an add-on at all. It's just that the spandex fibers come to the top of the weave so that it's higher coefficient of friction here, but not on the inside so that you can slide it on and off without it, grabbing your arm.
Wow. Okay.
So now all you have to do is design a new pigskin that sticks to the fabric on your arm, and then it'll be like a Velcro kind of thing.
We'll put that in front of the rules committee and see what they say.
So I knew you guys had questions for him. Chuck, Gary, what do you have?
So, okay, Jud, we've talked about